Let's get your cameras on. That way I can kind of distinguish who has questions, who doesn't. But let's go ahead and dive in. Tanvir, I know you had messaged me privately. You got something urgent to go to. You only have a little bit of time. So let's go with you first. Anyone else that has any urgent questions or anything at all after Tanvir, please drop a number one in the chat and we'll progress as needed, okay?
Yes,
Tanvir.
so it's just the pricing. I'm getting it. I think we adjusted it yesterday. Do we need to adjust it more, or what should I do?
No, no. So today, all I wanted to do was, yesterday, I know we adjusted it last night. Obviously, it hasn't been enough time for someone to potentially book it. Like, it's just, it's not like magic. Like you just set pricing and it gets booked,
Yeah.
as you know. We just got to give it some time. So I wanted you to come in just to see, just to get an update. So as you confirmed, no one's booked it yet. I know we have pricing right at $64. I know we were trying to get it at 65, and I know your break even's around 56. I think we have like a 5 or 6 day lead time. So what I would say is this, I would hold it there
Okay.
and come Sunday, I would increase it. I know we have a 10% discount. Come Sunday, increase that discount to 15%. Test pricing. I want pricing to be at $60 per night. Okay.
Oh,
Perfect. That's all I want you to know. That's all I got. Okay. For you.
no, thanks.
Cool, cool, cool. Of course,
Bye.
man. Have a great rest of your day.
You too. Thanks.
Thank you. All righty. Cool, guys. Anyone else have any questions? Drop a number one in the chat. Happy to help. Jake, what do you got?
I have the booking.com question.
Hmm.
So I got that booking.com booking, but I only knew about it because I checked my email. So none of it was actually sunk correctly. So I went back after that booking and sunk it with Hospitable.
Okay.
So I just copy and pasted like the message that sends on Airbnb with the access code,
Nice.
the first
Okay.
message. And I just gave them the admin code. Um, and then it automatically sent them like the 1 hour prior to check-in message. But other than
Okay.
that, I just need help getting all the other stuff, making sure my integrations are correct. Like, should remote lock be automatically connected? No, it just obviously didn't send the admin or the first message with the code because it wasn't connected then.
Um, so you
Because
did
it's
the right thing.
hospitable is sunk to booking.com, so
Yeah,
that
because it
listing
doesn't
is
have it.
remote lock.
Yeah, so I would check remote lock, see if the integration can go through. So see if there's the integration for Booking. I'm quite certain there is, and you would just literally connect it the exact same way we connected Airbnb. You just got to connect the Booking.com account. Same with
For a
VRBO.
second, I was thinking that it was connected through hospitable.
No, 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 it's not. Now, in the meantime, you did the right thing. Obviously, if now what I do is this,
There is no
if
booking.com on here.
I was just gonna say if there's no integration with that, I would keep it on remote lock because Airbnb is gonna be your primary source of booking. Like most of your clients are just gonna naturally come from Airbnb. This is just so that you can get more eyes on your property and get more opportunities because it 100% helps, obviously. But about 90% of your bookings will come from Airbnb as you start building a reputation on these other platforms. Hopefully it equals out. But until then, what I'd recommend is this. Remote lock is the most smoothest and most smoothest system to connect your lock with less issues. You could do it through Hospitable. That's how I have it, but so many issues arrive with disconnections, double message of what's it called? Like the same message sends twice, like it'll send two different codes. It's a nightmare. So just keep it through remote lock because it's smooth. What I would do if I like did this over again, I've already got this system down, so like for me it's fine. But what I would do is I would create a instant booking on Airbnb or on a Hospitable, or like an instant booking message, and I would literally copy and paste the same message you have on Remote Lock onto Hospitable, and what I would do is I would put your admin code as it, or I would create a different code, like maybe create a different temporary code, like keep your admin code, create a different temporary code titled booking.com/VRBO code. And in that message, have that as your code. So it's going to be the same code all the time, but you're going to just make it sound like it's a temporary code. That way, when someone books through booking.com or VRBO, it just sends them that message. And on the settings thing on Hospitable, you can deselect Airbnb and only have VRBO and booking.com as the selected one. Okay.
Gotcha.
And that's what I would do if I can do it all over again. Because yeah,
Gotcha.
Hospitable's a nightmare with their integration thing. That's why I wouldn't recommend it.
Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say, should I just manually do it now since like for just the time being? And then how do I link Turno and Booking.com? I couldn't figure it out.
That will be through Hospitable. That would be through Hospitable. So what I would do is this. I believe we already did this for some for you. If we haven't done it, this is what I would do. So it's going to be a little bit of a pain in the butt. But what I would do for anyone that's on VRBO or um, Booking.com or both, you're going to want to delete Airbnb. Now it's going to wipe out all your clean. So just be ready to that. Delete Airbnb and then sync Hospitable to it. And then just verify. Sometimes it adds them. If it doesn't add them, just go in there and manually add them and then just update your cleaner on that. But you're going to, same thing like we do for Price Labs, how you have Hospitable as your main connection, not Airbnb, VRBO, Booking.com. You just have Hospitable. We're going to do the same thing for Turno. Okay.
Can you tell me how to do that really quick?
Yeah. Go ahead and share your screen and go to Turno for me. Then what you're going to want to, oh,
Turno?
yes. What you're going to want to do is on the top right of your screen, you're going to hit your name, the JS, and then you're going to hit integrations. And then you will delete Airbnb where it has the 12 properties. And then you're going to go to, you should be able to search it. Search Hospitable. There you go and connect it. Select all of them as where it says select option. See if you can like link them. So Miros 2612U and so forth.
Andrew really does that. What's the purpose of having to take, I missed that piece. You have to delete Airbnb.
Yeah, great
Yeah.
point. So
Yeah.
the reason why is because he has them connected via Airbnb. So if someone books through VRBO or Booking.com, it's not going to come as VRBO Booking.com. It's just going to count as a block on Airbnb's calendar because Hospitable is doing its job. So the reason he has to delete Airbnb is because when he connects Hospitable, it's going to be double booked because he's going to have his Airbnb ones plus the Hospitable ones that are pulling his Airbnb ones all over again. So it's just going to be double. So therefore, that way he doesn't have that issue. He has to delete Airbnb, so there's no double booking situations. And then just connect Hospitable, and Hospitable will have all of them. So any cleanings that are for Airbnb, we'll say like Airbnb and it'll have it on the checklist. Any bookings that came from VRBO or booking.com will do the same thing.
Got it.
Now we just have to have fingers crossed that the clean sync. If they don't, just might take you like an hour. You might have to go manually like connect them all. Okay. And then make sure your teammates line up. I think they should already line up since you connected it to the specific property. So just make sure that they do. That's the proper teammates.
Yeah. Just gonna check this last page. Yep.
Cool. Go to projects real quick. Let's see if projects resunk. Okay, they did. Perfect. And then find the booking.com one.
Do they have to accept them again?
They have to re-accept them, correct.
All right, I'll just text them. What'd you say?
Find the booking.com one.
Uh, this one right here.
Perfect. There you go.
Perfect. All right. I think that should be everything that needs to be connected, right? Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. As long as you got that hooked up, any integrations you have on Hospitable will be connected there. So any future Airbnb bookings, any future Hospitable booking, or sorry, any future VRBO bookings or booking.com bookings will now show up as needed.
Okay. And then this was the unit that we were talking about yesterday that was you had me drop below break even. They booked just a one night tonight. So should I just go automatically back to below break even for tomorrow night?
Yeah, I would just do it. We want to get that lead time back up. We
Okay.
missed it. We want to get it back up is what we want to do.
And then
because
if you have a
you're
one
gonna
night,
start picking up.
if you sorry to cut you off, and then if
No, you're
you have
good.
one night on like a Saturday night, do you just do no discount? Like at this point, because I'm in slow season, do I just go like if it's tomorrow, do I just go no di one night opening, Saturday night, tomorrow night? Do I just go no discount, break even?
No, if it's a weekend, you always go no discount target daily rate. You never drop on weekends, you never drop below your target daily rate. That's if you're putting a no discount. If you already and you already you don't have a lead time, so like you saying it's coming up tomorrow,
Let me see. Yeah,
yeah,
here,
I would
June
put a
19th.
no discount and put it at my target daily rate. Lowest I'd go is like 10 under my target daily rate. You're gonna be more and someone's gonna be more incentivized to book the weekend. The absolute worst case scenario I'll do is like the day of, I may drop it to, break even, but usually I don't. That's gonna be a steal on a weekend for one night. It's just asking for trouble, in my opinion. Like if
Okay.
someone books it, you're probably if someone books a weekend, one night at a really low rate, the potential of you getting a bad guest is extremely high. So I rather you keep it at your target daily rate or like 10 under your target daily rate.
10 under target daily rate at max. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, of
Okay. All right. Thank you.
course, man. Alrighty. Anything else I can help you out with?
No, that's it for me. Thank you.
Alrighty, cool, cool, cool. All right, let's see what I got here. Jack, what do you got for us? And anyone else that just popped in, like go ahead and drop a number one in the chat if you have any questions. But Jack, what do you got?
Yeah, I have a couple of questions. One, so I had a very, very bad experience with the guests come in. They left after 30 minutes and a bunch of hoopla, complained about random stuff, took pictures of mostly nothing. So I ended up giving them a full refund, and I just saw that they had they gave me a review for the property, which I'm going to assume is going to be poor. So my question's on how to like, what are the next steps after that? Like, should I give her a review? And because I can't see it right now, because she just has a review, but I haven't given her a review yet. One, should I give her a poor review? Should I not give her a poor review? Is that going to be a bad reflection on me as well? Um, yeah, I'm just kind of looking at what to do about that review.
Yeah, so let's first start off. What were the issues that she complained about that resulted in you refunding and her potentially leaving a bad review?
Yes. So she had said it was on here. I'll go share my screen for in 1 second. Okay. So this is what she had said. Basically, 3 hours ago, she said, "I need my money back. Doesn't seem safe. Something was irritating my allergies. I'm sorry, I can't stay here. Need my money back. Blah 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 blah." So I just said, "Sorry to hear that. Would you help me to understand the issue so that this does not happen again?" And she was saying it wasn't as clean as I expected. Vents were dusty. Irritated her allergies. People next door were loud. Doesn't look safe. Feels like Section 8 or project apartment. Screen door had gunk on it. There was webs. Few other things that caused me decision. So this is where I asked for some videos and some evidence for it.
Good
Um,
job.
Fair enough. There was
Okay.
a little bit of gunk on the vents.
Dude, I'll be
Um,
honest with you. It's a little BS from the first photos that they're sending.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I think yeah, this is the only thing she has, and there was some stuff in the sliders, like there was dirt in the sliders. And then she
Okay.
sent this video of the outside. This is not even my apartment. This is like the hallway. And then a picture of like a scratch on the floor, and then things in the corner. I'm not sure
Yeah.
about outside. This one said there was a spot that was missed, but you can't even tell, and she even said that in the picture. And then started resending photos she'd already sent. Basically, she was upset about all this stuff, and I don't
Okay.
want to deal with it, so I was like, whatever, I'll just give her the full refund. It wasn't even that much. She got it for extremely cheap because I was just trying to get rid of the day and see how low the pricing would be. So I think she got it for like, yeah, I don't know
Yeah.
if you can see pricing, like ridiculously cheap for all this stuff. The majority of the pricing was
Yeah.
just okay.
Yeah.
What's
Don't
left of the review?
Yeah, don't sweat it. So you're like I always tell you, you're now in a business. You're not gonna be able to satisfy everyone. It's just unfortunately how it is. However, that doesn't mean like screw it. Like let's not look at what she says. We want to take what everyone complains about as advice. You did the absolute correct thing of like, hey, well, what specifically happened? That way I can make sure that we're able to fix this so that doesn't happen again. Great work, great customer service there. Same thing. She complains about stuff. Okay, well, do you have photos? Because now we want documentation. If she doesn't have photos, we can fight it in a different way. Obviously, she provided videos and photos. I'll be honest with you. I've gone and guessed like this. It's completely BS, bro. Like, of course, when you zoom into the corner of a wall, like it's gonna look a lot worse than what it is. Like these
Hmm.
are, we're not going to knock them. These are a little bit older units. So like there are going to be like, little gunks that you can't fix unless you just paint over them. But dude, I can understand if there was like hair on the sink, hair on the toilet, I would get a little grossed out, hair on the bed, things of that sort. But I'll be honest with you, the stuff that she reported is completely BS. Yes, we can report that to our cleaner. Hey, just clean the vents. That way you don't get like another guest like this who kind of acts
Hmm.
like a Karen and tries to find another way out. What I would say is this is two things. Either she found another place for discount or, which I doubt, or she got somewhere else for free, or two, she's just a massive Karen who unfortunately she can't afford a nice hotel, so she pays like dirt cheap for this place and she expects it to be like, the Hilton or Marriott. And
Hmm.
unfortunately, some people are like that as much as you want to tell them and as much as like you want to, go about it in a certain way. You just got to be respectful about it. You handled it very perfectly well. I would refund them as well because you're running into two strikes here. Either you don't refund them and you fight it, which you most likely would probably win, but it results in 199% certainty she's going to leave you a bad review. Or you're kind to her, you refund her, and now your odds are a little bit better in terms of her leaving you a positive review. Now, based off of what she's reporting, based off of her messages, do I think she left you a great review? I don't think
Definitely
so,
not.
but I don't think she left you as bad as we think. I think maybe, hopefully, we can get away with like a maybe not a one star. I think if you would have kept her money and like sent her on her way, which you could have, you for sure, you for sure like would have gotten a one-star review. But who knows? Like, I'd rather take my odds on the way you handled it than not keeping her money and getting like a horrible review because your odds are just not as good. Like that's a guaranteed bad review. So don't be hard on yourself. You handled it perfectly. From what I'm looking at here, I don't see anything that you did wrong really in terms of like, and even anything wrong with your unit. So don't sweat it, bro. You're just gonna unfortunately get guests like this. Like you said, like, dude, it was dirt cheap. Like, I don't know what happened. Dude, guests are like this. So
Hmm.
just don't sweat it. And for everyone listening in, trust me, you're gonna experience this once. I hope you don't, but you will. It's just how it is. Like not every guest is going to be great. Obviously, we want to take full accountability if there is something on our end. So if like we did do something wrong, for sure, it's our fault, it's your fault. But in this case, man, don't sweat it. What I would do is this something that you've experienced before, or is like has someone mentioned these
No,
things like loud
no,
noise, being dangerous area,
no.
all
This
these
is
things?
all the first time it's ever happened for either of the units. So,
Okay,
I
then
think
it's a
she's
BS
being
one.
kind of crazy.
She is. So it's BS. So don't sweat it. It's nothing to do with your unit. I would still take note of this. So something that I like doing, especially when you have multiple units. So everyone listening in, I would recommend doing this. I just learned this in other businesses that I started. I correlated it to my Airbnb business. It's helped me so much. Is what I'll do is I'll put like a Google Sheet or like a Google Doc, and I would list each unit and list any issues that I have. So it's like, okay, this guest left me a 3 star. Okay, let's look back at this issue. What did they report? Okay, this, and that. Okay, let's look at the review. What did they report? This, and that. Okay, that lines up. Now, what is a specific issue? Is it my fault, cleaner fault, or complex fault? And then from there, I start analyzing. Okay, you know what? This came up. This is the cleaner's fault. The cleaner, this is a cleanliness report. Okay, this falls on the cleaner. So I'll reach out to the cleaner and be like, hey, this is what went on. Here's the review. Here are the messages. Like, let's make sure that we're on top of this. That way it doesn't happen again. If I see it happen a couple other times and it's same thing, cleaner, 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 I'd recommend you try either like being very stern with your cleaner and like,
Hmm.
seeing how she reacts. And if she's able to get her act straight, cool, continue with her. If she's not, fire her and replace her. Now, if it's a complex issue, okay, maybe we reach out to the complex. There are certain things we can control and certain things we can't. So, for example, if it's something where it's like, you know, let's see, what could it be? I'm trying to think of a like water issue, like a constant water issue. Okay, we need to take this up to the complex. Maybe there's something that can be fixed that they can do. Um, or if it's just something of like, I don't feel safe, then we need to see like, okay, well, why don't they feel safe? Like, is there like famous homeless guy that's like keeps walking around that makes people uncomfortable? Maybe we can, counteract that, or is it just people just being, Karens and you just get a lot? So we want to just see how we can classify that. And if it's on us, if it's a communication issue, okay, we need to take self accountability and see how we can fix that. Hey, you know what, dude? I just don't have enough time to be messaging guests while I'm at work. Okay, so can we set automations? Okay, should we
Hmm.
bring on a virtual assistant? What can we do to improve this? So by having these things detailedly listed, you can see where the problem lies with your unit, because there's so many outside factors. It could be you, it could be your cleaner, it could be the building. Like there's so many outside factors. We need to be able to narrow it down. So in the guest case, like I would just kind of chalk this as like a Karen guest. I'll just mark this as a Karen guest. And I would just still keep it in the back burner, because if you get like, let's just say next at the end of this week, or like, so the week's already over. Like let's just say next week, you get a very similar complaint. Okay, maybe something's shifted, maybe something's going on. What's happening
Hmm.
here? Is it my cleaner potentially? So you definitely want to kind of keep this for back burner notes. But in this case, don't sweat it. Now, what I would do to solve this issue is you could do two things. Obviously, we can't see the review until we leave a review.
Yeah.
I don't like to, although this person was a pain in the butt, I don't like bad karma. So I'm not going to write a false review for someone. I always believe, like, just be honest. Even if you did something wrong and, or you did nothing wrong and she leaves you a bad review, I'll just be honest with her as a review. Hey, whatever you feel, like, however you feel about her, write it. Hey, yes, did mention several things after reviewing it. I don't see anything wrong with it. I mean, we gave her the place very inexpensively. She still had a lot of things to say that were very accurate that no one's ever reported, even people that have paid top dollar for our unit. So I'm just not sure if she was being honest or if things were lining up. But
Hmm.
this is just how I feel about the client. They did leave my place in great condition. They did only stay one night after I provided them a full refund, and they left and departed my unit with no issues. So I'll just be honest, exactly how you feel, write it out, and go from there. If you feel like that gives them a 3 star, 4 star, write that. If you do want to be, like if you do want to be, like be on her same level, screw it,
Yeah.
write her a 1 star review and say how you feel and get it submitted. But at the end of the day, it's up to you. And then from there, you'll be able to see the review she left you. Hopefully, knock on wood, she leaves you a 5 star and says like, "Hey, there were some issues, but he was nice about it and refunded me. But these were
Okay.
some issues I reported," is what I
Okay.
would do.
That
Okay.
makes sense then. But there's not like if I gave her a 1 star, it's not like that's gonna negatively affect me besides, I guess, bad karma or bad juju
I
voodoo
mean, if you
stuff.
believe in that, if you don't, like, don't sweat it. Give her a freaking 1 star review if you're happy, if it
Okay.
makes you happy.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure. And then the other question I had just regarding pricing. So for this one, we have kind of an awkward one. We have 1 day over here on the third, which I just dropped down to the break even. And then we have this,
Great job.
again, kind of an awkward space from Monday to Thursday. I just have it for minus 20% right now. I don't really plan on adjusting it until, I don't know, we maybe like the Saturday or something like that, looking at it. But should I be adjusting this rate any more now or just continue to wait until we get a little bit closer to that date?
Yeah, great work on that 57. I'd keep it there, hold it until we get to like Monday or Sunday. If no one's booked it, you could go a little bit under your break even if you want, but personally, I would just leave it there. Now, in terms of that week, that funky gap right there, um, we do have a little bit of lead time. I would look on your averages. What happened with that person booking at 58? Was that just like you lowered pricing and
So this was
they
like the
booked
first
it?
or second day that I had it, and I had when I set up the connections from Price Labs to everything else, I had done it through Airbnb instead of through Hospitable. So
Mm,
during the night, it I guess reset and resunk to whatever the pricing was. So yeah, the guy got a unfortunately very, very good deal for that. But I learned and I
you're
won't have
fine.
to make that mistake again.
Yeah, it's all a learning lesson, so no worries. I was just asking because I'm seeing 77, 80, so I'm seeing your high bookings and it just drops to 58. So I was like, okay, is that like something we should take into consideration or just an error? Since it's an error, then in that case, we'll go off of the feedback of the 80 and 77. So we know people are willing to pay top, like a good price for your unit. So what I would do is I would be under that 77. I would probably be around 65 to 70 is where I would price it at. So for that gap, as long as you're between 65 and 70, I would just hold it there.
Oh, okay, got it.
Only
Yeah.
reason why I'd be under, sorry to interrupt you. Only reason why I'd be under is just because that gap is funky. That's the only reason why.
Yes, that's the thing. Because Monday to Thursday, I feel like that's a very, very, like you say, funky one.
Mhm.
And I do have the in between on it for that wherever it is over
Yeah,
here.
it's a little further out. I was just seeing it right now. I think it
Oh
popped
yeah, it's
around
right here.
together.
So I do have the in between on it as well. So I'll just price check it to make sure we're between that 65 to 70. And then the last thing is just the pricing I have for this first start going on in March. I'll just switch the units we have for this one. And again, just curious if I should be putting the pricing down any bit lower, or if I should adjust the pricing for the weekends, or just leave it for now because we're not super close to it. Just want to check if I'm about in the correct range for things. And yeah, it
Yeah,
does suck that this guy got at such a cheap rate because there's missing out on a lot of
yeah. You're good, bro. It happens. It's all a learning lesson. I've done it so many times where my thing unsyncs or I miss something. It's normal. You're good. Don't sweat it. Let's just get that booking for this unit. Now, obviously, these are the same unit. So if we know people, we can take the average of what someone booked your other unit and use that as feedback as well. So we know people are willing to pay that $80 to 77. So what I would do is from the 6th to the 13th, I would make sure I'm sitting at that like maybe 75 range, 75 and plus range.
it.
Yeah, so
Okay.
use your ADRs as feedback, guys. Like use that information. If you know people are willing to pay that because you have another unit that's similar, okay, let's try it out. Let's hold it. That doesn't mean, oh, okay, yeah, someone's going to instantly book it, but it doesn't hurt to test. Maybe someone does, and it's like, okay, now we have a positive feedback of what maybe people are willing to pay or whatever. However, I have a ton of units in the same building, and sometimes they get booked at different rates. It's normal. Some get booked for really high, and then others have to bring to my break even. I'm like, what the heck happened? It's just sometimes how it goes. But we can at least use that. Sometimes like I find a sweet spot with one of my units and I change all of them to that, like it's at 77, let's just say in your case, or 75,
Hmm.
and then boom, 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 they all get booked up at like 75. I'm like, perfect. So use the feedback you're getting, especially if you're noticing like, okay, well, someone was already willing to pay 77 for this, and the week before they're willing to pay 80. So it's not like a one-off case scenario. It's not like the same person. Like there's a little consistency that people are willing to pay around that range. So that's what I'm saying. Like, hey, like since we're close, keep it around 75. For the other weeks, you can keep them around 80 for the weeks after, but for the upcoming one,
Hmm.
around 75, 70, I think where I would say.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Of course, man. All righty, let's see what else we got, guys. If anyone else has anything, drop number one, but we got Joby. Joby, what do you got for us?
Yeah, I can go. Let me share. So just a couple quick, I think, pricing things. So we get to unit 305. So last week we did some before and afters. And then we also set, sorry, let me go back here. We also set an in between right here.
Hmm.
And it hasn't been picked up yet. So where it's been a week, I was kind of wondering, should we handle this differently? So that's one question. Then the second question is, do I need to set my rule sets for March?
Great stuff. So to answer your first question, same thing like we were talking about, Jack. We want to refer back to our feedback and see what people are doing and just price it under. Since we're coming up on that lead time, let's go ahead and take a look at Price Labs. So we know people are willing to pay top dollar for your place too, 87, 100 towards the end. I wouldn't take that 100 into consideration right now, because obviously that's further out. It's a different gap. So what I would take into consideration is I'd be looking at that 87 and 65. So we know people are willing to pay within that range. Now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna be like, okay, well, let me consider, that fact that this is a funky booking. The only positive you have compared to Jack is at least you got the Friday and Saturday involved in your gap, which makes it a little bit more incentivizing. So maybe we get the Friday and Saturday booked, and now we're working with the 3 day gap, which is helpful because we can get good price for those weekends. Um, but what I would want to do is like, since I know people are willing to pay within that range, I'd be happy sitting between the 6 to the 7, the 10, around maybe 60 to 65. So same thing we did with Jack. I'm pricing it right at or slightly under, due to the fact that it's just a gap that is going to be a little bit more challenging to get booked up, besides the fact that we have the weekend involved. That's the only positive that we have going on for us. So that's where I would be sitting around that 65 range. Okay.
Okay.
If you're already sitting there, I would drop it to 60. If
Okay.
you're way above all of those, then drop it to 65.
Got it. Okay. And should I hold on changing anything for the 20th and beyond for now?
No, I would hold that because we know people are willing to pay 187. Obviously, you guys mentioned there's an event happening, so I would
I
keep
think
that
it's
around.
on that week too.
Yeah, I'd keep that above my target daily rate for that whole week in blue. So if your target daily rate's like 90, I would keep that at 100. If your target daily rate's 80, I'd keep it at 90. So I'd keep it 10 over your target daily rate.
Okay.
And then to answer your other question about discounting March, yes, today's the 27th. Obviously, tomorrow's the last day of February. So no matter what market you're in, if you're in Arizona, if you're in North Carolina, Alabama, Texas, wherever you're at, make sure you already put your long weekend discounts for the month of March. So obviously, you guys already set your in between and no discounts. You guys do a great job of that. But now it's time to start implementing those long weekends because now the goal is like, okay, we want to let our Airbnb discounts do their thing, but now we're about to start the month of March. So maybe we're not fully filled up. Maybe we've got a few bookings. Now we want to fill up the month of March because we're about to enter it. Or maybe we don't have any bookings in March. And now it's like, okay, we don't have any bookings in March. We really need bookings in March. Let's, start setting up our no discounts to do a quick discount. So yes, for everyone listening in and to answer your question, Joby, yeah, let's start putting our long weekends in the month of March for Friday and Saturday.
Okay. Do I need to take off this in between to be able to drop it like we just talked about over here?
No, no, no. You'll keep your in between. You'll just increase that discount. So instead of a 20% discount, maybe you do, 25 or 30, depending on whatever you need to do to get it to, 60 or 65 per night.
Okay. So my first long weekend then is going to be out here.
Correct. Yep.
So
Because
there's
you're
really
fully
only one
booked up,
left.
which is, yeah, a good problem to have for you. So yeah, you'll just put it on. Oh, sorry. You'll start actually on the 20th and 21st.
Okay.
So you'll
So
you'll
no,
replace that long weekend. That might have been an error. I don't know if I did that or you did that. If I told you to do that, that's on me. If you did that, no worries. It's a learning lesson. Since it's a Friday, you don't want to put a no discount. You want to put a long weekend there. So
okay.
if a reservation begins or ends on a weekend, you'll always put a long weekend, not a no discount. And then so go ahead and put a long weekend. And then what I would do is on Price Labs, I would go ahead and remove that 85 and just let it be what it is. Because what will end up happening is someone's just going to book Friday, and that's it. Because it's like sitting at 85.
Right.
We want to avoid that. So yeah, I would just delete it, and then just you can just press sync.
Okay. And then I'll
You
go
can
on those other ones.
yeah,
Uh,
you can put the 20% discount there, and then press sync now.
okay. That was it. That was all I had. I thought I had the same issue as Jake had because I got a booking in from VRBO that looked. So see this booking here on my turno?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's actually a VRBO, but it has the little Airbnb thing. And it says
I
unavailable.
guess I guess I might be wrong. It looks like it still added it as a clean. Um, I don't know. Maybe it syncs differently, VRBO, Booking.com, and Airbnb.
Yeah.
I just know when I
It
did
has
it,
a
I
little-
was having that issue too as Jake.
Yeah.
Um, so what I would do if it's working for you and you don't want to sweat it right now, don't sweat it. But if you notice it becomes an issue, obviously know the process to go about it. Just delete Airbnb, sync, connect Hospitable, and luckily it sunk all his calendar dates. All he has to do is just have his cleaner re-accept them. So it wasn't like it was a huge problem.
Okay. I did have to hit this like manual resync thing.
Hmm.
That helped. But then when I noticed when I was in Hospitable, it did show it as VRBO versus Airbnb. So
Yeah,
yeah.
Hospitable will show it as that because it's going to be your property management software, but like Turno is not. It'll show it how it showed you, which I didn't even know it did that. So that's cool to know. But
Yeah. Okay. I think that was all I had.
awesome. Great stuff, Joey. Let me know if you need anything. Obviously, message me on Slack if you have any trouble.
Okay.
Mara, how's everything going?
Good. Yeah, things are going good. I just had a few questions about pricing stuff. I can share my screen.
Yes.
But first, remind me, if I haven't, do I add an in-between discount for dates if it includes a Friday, Saturday? Did we just talk about that?
Yeah, so that's another great point. So I know the rule sets get a little funky, and obviously just how it lines up. Yes, an in between, as long as there's an opportunity to put it in between, if there's 6 days or below that are empty in between two bookings, like in this case, those are 4 days that are empty, and in that case, those are 2 days that are empty.
Yeah, so
Um,
this one.
yep. And in that case, there's three. In
Yeah.
that case, yes, an in between will always override your long weekend. So exactly like where Nikki booked, how you have that Friday, Saturday, and you had your in between there.
Yeah.
You did the exact right thing there. That's perfect.
Okay. Okay. It made me second guess because I did that and then it booked like really quick and I was like, oh God, did I just do something wrong? Because that felt really fast.
No, that's exactly the goal of it. So I'm glad it
Okay.
worked out.
Okay, cool. And I guess my more pressing one is next Tuesday in my one bedroom. I dropped it down to 65, which is about 10 over my break even. It's not really moving
Mhm.
anywhere. Does that look good as is?
Yep, I would hold it there. I would drop it last minute since it's your one bedroom. You're still in high season. I would hold it there until like maybe Sunday, Monday. If there's still no booking, I'd slam it to your break even.
Okay. Okay, cool. I got that. Should I be doing anything here? Like the day after a booking?
Yes, in this case, same thing like I was telling Joby and everyone else. You're doing terrific in March. I think you're more than profitable already in
Yeah.
March.
Yeah.
So everything else is just the cherry on top is just extra. So let's keep the money coming in. Now, since we're about to start the month of March, today's the 27th, you can start putting your long weekend. So for Saturday, right there, Saturday the 21st, put a long
Yep.
weekend.
Okay.
Even though, excuse me, even though it's one day, you would still put that long weekend.
Okay.
So you'll just click on it once, click it again.
Oh God, hold on.
Yeah, no worries.
Uh-oh. Go back. Okay, right
Yeah.
there.
Click it twice. So click it once and click it again.
Okay. There it
There you
goes.
go.
And that's the no discount.
You'll put a long weekend since it's a weekend. So kind of same thing that
Oh,
Joby did.
okay. Okay.
Yeah, Joby had put a long weekend there. Or no discount. I think that was me, but we'll just
Oh, I
blame
see.
Joby for now.
Okay. Even though it's one day. Okay, got it.
Yeah, you'll put a no discount or sorry, a long weekend there.
Yeah.
Because it lands on a weekend. Now where
Okay.
you would put a no discount is right there, Tuesday the 24th for the bottom unit. That's
This
where you'll put
one.
a correct.
Okay.
That's where you'll put a no
Because it's during
discount.
the
So
week.
exactly. So no discounts will put on weekdays, long weekends will put on weekends because weekends are a little bit more incentivizing. The reason we put a no discount on a weekday is because they're usually a little bit more challenging because most people are traveling or booking on a weekend or through a weekend. So we want to make sure on the weekends, like obviously price can stay high because it's on average like that's how it is everywhere. Hotels, anywhere, it's obviously a little bit more expensive for the weekends. Now, what we will do is any future weekends in the month of March, we'll start adding our long weekend too. So,
Right.
right there, the 27th to 28th, we'll put a long weekend there for both units. So you can drag down.
Oh, I see.
There you go, like that.
Right. Long weekend.
Yep, just like that. And other than that, that's all I'll do. If you were in slow season, obviously we would discount it and see what pricing's at. Since you're in high season, you don't have to worry about checking pricing. Let's just keep the bookings rolling in. As we get closer, we'll worry about that. That's the good, cool thing about high season is
Mhm.
yes, it's fun because you can play things this way.
Yeah.
And it's essentially a little easier, whereas slow season is very, very strategic. So the
Okay.
good thing from slow season is obviously the quicker you learn it and the better you get at it, the way more successful you'll be. High season is just fun because like obviously, you can be, a little bit more daring and have your pricing a little higher and drop at the last minute and you can secure these bookings. So take full advantage of the high season because once we enter slow season, we're going to be more strategic and then everyone else in other markets will be entering high season and, they'll be, having their fun. And, we just got to be strategic
Right.
and learn our slow season because slow season could still be it is extremely profitable. You just got to learn it, understand your lead time, find your price ceiling. And this is all stuff. This is why we have these group calls. This is all stuff as, we continue coming in, we can discuss and find out that's a lot of the stuff that's happening with some of our people that were in slow season. And we're just trying to learn it and figure out that lead time. But other
Right.
than that,
Okay.
for you, Mara, you're doing great. I would hold off. My main priority will be that one night. Once we get
Yeah.
into next week and we start having our group calls for next week, pop in, we can start looking at those 2 nights if it's still unbooked.
Oh, these guys here.
Yeah, in the meantime, we won't sweat them.
Okay. Okay. Sounds like a plan. Great.
Awesome
Thanks.
stuff. Keep it up.
Thanks.
Jake, looks like you got something again. What do you got for us?
Yeah, can you just walk me through the process again when somebody smokes in the unit? It's been a while since somebody's done that. But it just happened today. So I know I can't, it still says I have 13 days to leave them a review, so I'm not sure if they left one yet or not. But can you just walk me through what to do from here?
Yeah, so this is a great question to bring up for a lot of people that are just joining us. Now, when it comes to smoking, you want to have, and this is part of the template we have on the course, but if you don't copy that, no worries. Just make sure you go back and add this. On Airbnb, on your house rules, you obviously want to note that there's a violation for smoking, $1,000 violation. You can put this in your hospitable messages as well. Just like, hey, $1,000, please don't smoke. There's $1,000 violation. Now, in this case, when someone's already smoked in our unit and or broken something and or damaged something, whatever it is that we have to file a resolution claim for, what we want to do is we want to wait before we file a resolution claim. So to file a resolution claim, you have 14 days after the guest checks out to request money and or file a resolution claim. You also have 14 days to leave a review, both you and the guest. The reason we want to wait is because if Jake charges his guest $1,000 for smoking right now, what are they going to do? They're probably going to deny it and they're probably going to retaliate and leave him a bad review, even if they had the best time of their life in his unit, which is something we do not want to get. So our specific protocol that we take is we want to either wait until that guest leaves us a review. If he's already left us a review, boom, we can hit him with that charge because he cannot go back and take his review off and leave us a negative one. He can absolutely take his review off. Not a lot of people know that, but he can't like take it off and then submit a new review. So if he left you a 5-star review, it's either you're keeping that 5-star review or he's removing it. No matter what, we can care less because it's not like we got a bad one. Now, that's the first thing we want to do. So we want to either wait till he leaves a review before we charge him. Now, if he doesn't leave us a review, what we can do is we'll just wait until the end of the timer. So what I like to do is I like to put a note on my calendar, or in this case, it's usually my virtual assistant who's doing it. I have my virtual assistant put notes on their calendar for these things. And I'll literally put it on the 14th day or the 13th day. And Airbnb is cool because if you go to if you click the guest name, you'll be able to see, like, you'll literally say it. There'll be like a little ticker that says like 7 days left to leave a review, 4 days left to leave a review. And as you get closer, I'll start saying 3 hours left to leave a review, 2 hours left to leave a review. I'll literally wait till it says like 1 hour left to leave a review. And I already have everything set up. So I'll have everything set up, but I won't submit it yet. That way, all I got to do is go back, put the final touches in, and then submit it. Because by the time the guest sees it and he has like 30 minutes left or even an hour left, it's not going to be enough time for him to process it and think, okay, let me go leave him a negative review. It just won't work out. So he'll run out of his time frame and you get your resolution claim in right at the buzzer beater, but they won't be able to get their review in. So then it works out perfectly. And at that point, that just protects us on the front end to ensure we charge the guest, but they can't retaliate in return. Just getting that review removed would be a little bit of a pain in the butt, depending on what they say. Now, in terms of submitting that resolution claim, Jake, what you want to do is obviously you know how to submit one, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you would go through the normal process of submitting one. I believe it's under extra cleaning. There's one that says like smoke smell or
Yeah.
smoking, and you'll put it as that. You'll put your $1,000. Now, just because you're charging them $1,000 doesn't mean like, oh, you're going to get paid out $1,000.
Yeah.
So don't go into it thinking that. We need to have obviously documentation. So your cleaners need to be aware, and most of your guys' cleaners, since they clean Airbnbs, trust me, they are fully aware of this. They need to have some form of proof, whether that's marijuana left behind, whether that's cigarette ashes, whether it's an actual cigarette, whether it's an actual blunt, whatever it is. They need to have it behind and document it. That way we can charge them. Another thing that we can do is if you have your ring cameras, if they're smoking on your front door or they walk out with a cigarette in their hand or a joint in their hand, boom, just get that recording, save it, screenshot it. You can utilize that. Another thing you guys can do is if there's no proof of anything, if your cleaner has ozone generators and they use those to remove the smell and there's actually a smell, have your cleaner take photos of the ozone generators being set up. Have her take photos of it. Have her take photos of the curtains and the windows being open to air out and use that as your documentation. And then what you're going to ultimately need is invoice proof. So if you have a good relationship with your cleaner, you can have your cleaner put the invoice charge in there like for $1,000 and just be like, hey, like if I make the 1,000, I'll give you an extra 100. But if I don't make it, like, I'm sorry, but can you just help me out and like put this as an invoice charge, but don't actually charge me. I'll pay you for the cleaning fee. The reason why I say if you have a good relationship, because they'll be willing to do that. For example, my cleaner does that for me automatically and doesn't expect anything in return. She's like, hey, this is just for you. Like, I'll just do the cleaning because it's part of my job, but like, this is just for you. If you get it, congrats. If you don't, you don't. Um, so she'll do that for me. If you don't have one, you can use ChatGPT to edit your invoice. So like you can take a screenshot of the cleaner's invoice and then just throw it to ChatGPT and put like, hey, can you add in this charge here? And trust me, ChatGPT will add it in and it'll look like your cleaner sent it. And you can use that because they will ask, is it authentic? And you can be like, yeah, it's authentic. But obviously ChatGPT just added a little bit to it there. If they reach out to your cleaner, you can just keep your cleaner in the loop, be like, hey, this is what I did, just in case Airbnb calls you or something like that, emails you. That way you can, be in the same page as me. And cleaners don't care. They obviously work for you, or work with you. They can really care less. They're like, yeah, whatever, I could care less. So that's how you'll get away with it. Now, will Airbnb pay you the 1,000? Sometimes they do. Sometimes they pay you the market average, and it's like 500 or 250. At the end of the day, don't complain about it because it's just pure profit. So if you get 250, take it. If you get 500, take it. If you get 1,000, even better. But that's a specific protocol we'll take to ensure we don't get retaliation review, and that way we can get that review in. Okay, so I would kind of take a look at that, Jake. See if they left you a review. If they haven't, just wait till that 14-day or until they do leave you one. In the meantime, gather all documentation that you can from your cleaner.
I can still leave her a review. I mean, it doesn't matter if I just leave her a 5-star review for whatever reason, right?
Yeah, you can still leave her a review, and then I'll tell you like guest has 3 days left to leave a review.
Yeah, because that's what I was saying. Because I know if I don't, sometimes it won't tell me that she left one, even if she did it already. So
Yeah, I mean, if you see her review, you can leave a review, and if you see she left you a review, boom, just immediately charge her. If you see that there's no review, okay, just count literally 14 days after her checkout, and then mark that on your calendar to, submit one right before.
so weird too, because she literally went out of her way to message me this morning to tell me how much she loved the apartment and how great of a time she had.
Well, we'll obviously leave her a good review in return. And dude, at the end of the day, don't feel bad because when she turns it down, Airbnb doesn't come after her and pull money from her account. Airbnb just pays on her behalf. So at the end of the day, like, don't feel bad charging someone because if they decline it, it's just Airbnb paying you, not the guest. Because trust me, the guest is not going to pay your 1,000. If they do, I'll be like, wow, you got a good guest there.
Oh
Because
yeah,
I've
no.
never had a single guest pay my violations.
I only have done 500 in the past, and even that guy threatened me. He told me I better never see him. Wish me luck.
Yeah, no, you're good. No worries. People are crazy sometimes, but yeah, you'll be fine. Yeah, just charge them once the review goes through, and just keep us posted, okay? All righty, awesome. Cool, guys. Well, looks like that's all I got here. Does anyone else have any last minute questions we can answer before we call it a night?
Yeah, quickly from me, it's a different kind of question, as you know. I got message from Grace that everything has been approved, so I'm ready to start setting things up. I sent you a message on Slack. If you can
Okay.
let me know what those next steps are.
Yeah, no, we'll keep you posted. Let me pull up the message because I have not seen Slack just yet. Uh, yeah. No, you have everything right. So, Noah will be going over all of this with you in the next step. So when you meet with them, all you want to focus on is, and this is literally what he's going to say, or Noah's going to say, is just start planning and anticipating furniture. So in the course, there's a furniture calculator. You can use that and start planning the furniture for your units.
I've set all that up already.
Oh man, you're like 10 steps ahead. In that case, if you're already ready for furniture, you can.
I just haven't ordered yet because I
Yeah,
want to be sure. Yes.
do not order anything. We do not want to order anything until leases are signed and the start date lines up for, like the delivery date lines up for our start date. So if they say, hey, your start date is March 5th, we need to make sure that the delivery items are going to be delivered on March 5th. Because you start ordering stuff now, some stuff might arrive tomorrow. And obviously, there's no one there. So we'll start lining that up. Noah will help you with that. I wouldn't recommend, unless you don't care, I wouldn't recommend setting up hospitable and all those just yet because I want you to take full advantage of the 1 month free trial. Nothing crazy, but shoot, if we can save 30, $20, $50 in total through all our softwares, why not? The ones that I would recommend that you could start setting up is Airbnb and Turno because there's no free trials there. So you can start setting those up.
Okay.
All right. Cool, cool, cool. And then once you do get those leases signed, obviously Grace, Patricia, and Noah will keep you posted, and even myself will keep you posted if those leases get sent to sign them. Obviously, we need to review them before you sign. So Noah, one of us will review it, give you the green light. Once you sign it, Noah will be lining up a meeting with you right away so we can start planning everything out.
Okay. But the dates I'm looking to move in, are they feasible or are they too close?
What happened? Sorry?
The dates I have there for moving, do you think we
Yeah.
can do all those within that time frame?
How many are we doing again?
4.
4. Alrighty. My goal is March 8th or 16th. Let me see. I'm sorry, I'm trying to find my calendar. I'm like searching through all my tabs that are open here. It's like a nightmare. Alrighty, let's see.
I have
So
the same, I
March,
have like 3 screens here.
yeah.
Sometimes it gets crazy.
I'm like, where the heck did my calendar go? I was just looking at it. Okay. What I would recommend to be safe is March 16th rather
Okay.
than March 8th because truthfully, it all comes down to when they send the leases. We're about to enter the weekend. So if they haven't sent it to you today, the
Mhm.
likelihood of them sending them tomorrow is not too crazy. They will be open on Saturday. The problem is, guess what? It's the weekend. So the property manager, the higher ups are not in. It's usually like the new
No,
hire
guys.
that's a
Yeah.
leasing agent and they're working Saturday. So they're probably not
Yeah.
doing much besides answering the phone call and chilling.
Mm.
So I would anticipate lease to be coming maybe Monday or Tuesday. So with that being said, you will be like rushing, and I don't want you to rush because you're
No.
setting up 4 units.
Mhm.
I want to be more strategic with it since it's 4 units. That way everything lines up perfectly. So I would do the 16th. That way, let's just say, hey, maybe it doesn't come Monday or Tuesday. Maybe we have to tell them, hey, can you tweak this? You forgot to put the proper start date, or you spelled Anthony's business name wrong. That way they can tweak it. Let's just say that takes an extra day. Now they don't send it till Wednesday or Thursday. Well, hey, guess what? That's still fine. We're still perfect for the 16th.
Okay, perfect. Finally, there was a previous message I sent about Gilbert, Arizona, because you were asking me whether I'm okay to go there. Yes, we can do the rest over there. That's
Perfect.
fine. Because the
Yeah,
goal
I
is
know
to
we
go down
got
those 2.
7 more, right? 7 more units?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So yeah, so in that case, since we got 7 more units, at the end of the day, it's your business. So however you like, if you want, the rest in that same area, cool, we can knock out the rest in that same area. Or if you're like, hey, I want to do these, and then 3 weeks from now or a month from now, let's launch another 7 in Arizona or another
Yeah.
7 here. We can jump there.
I'm ready for that right now. So I'm asking based on whichever is available now. So if you have
Let's
in
do it.
Gilbert, let's do it. If you have in
On there.
Mesa, that's fine. So wherever you have is good.
All righty, let's do it. I'll relay that over to our back-end team as well as I know Noah's already aware, so we'll get on the same page with Noah and we'll get things going. Looks like you had to hop on a call. All righty, cool. Well, right now when Anthony comes back, we'll circle back. But while we wait for Anthony, does anyone else have any questions?
Yeah, one last question.
Okay.
Jake.
Do you put the full 1,000 for how much it costs for the extra cleaning?
Yes.
Okay.
So that's why they'll need invoice from your cleaner.
Okay.
Cool. I know someone else had a question. Who was it?
That was me. So is it true that Airbnb can penalize you if you fall below a certain threshold in reviews?
Yes, that's why it's very important to keep review rating high.
'Cause
Obviously, go ahead.
one of my guests said, had a great time. The apartment was small and it gave me a 4-star review. And I was like, that doesn't
Oh,
work.
that's not bad.
4-star. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's not bad. Honestly, 4 or 5 stars, Nothing brutal. That's fine. Again, you're in business. You're not going to be able to satisfy everyone, no matter how perfect yours is. I mean, I have associates and friends that have literally multi-million dollar luxury properties here in Miami, and literally they'll have the exact same nightmares I have in my one bedrooms that are, C-class properties and, a little rougher area in Arizona. They experience the same thing. They're like, dude, yeah, I had a guy try to lie and try to get a full $50,000 deposit back, and Airbnb gave it to him. Like, yeah, you got to be kidding me. I'm not dealing with that. So point being is like, no matter what industry you're in, yes, it's fun and all. You can make money either way, and in any business, whether it's a restaurant business or whatever, you can make money as long as you do what you got to do. But you won't be able to satisfy everyone. Someone's always going to have something that they bring up. It's normal. It is a little frustrating since it's one of your first guests and it's a newer unit. I know the
Yeah.
feeling there. I've had that happen literally so many times. Like, really, like I just launched. Come on. But we just got to put a more emphasis on 5 stars. So as the rest of the guests come in, let's push the 5 stars. The more 5 stars you get, that 4 star will mean nothing. Right now, yes, it looks a little like scary because it's just one review. As you get one, if you get one other 5 star or even one other 4 star, boom, it's gonna shoot up again. So you'll be fine. So we just got to push for more 5 stars. The only thing that I'm like, okay, we really got to put an emphasis on like either fixing this issue or this was just very frustrating and it was like a Karen guest, or we have to get this review removed right away is 3 stars and below.
Okay.
Yeah. And yes, Airbnb does put like strict regulations on that, as they should. Obviously, you don't want same thing as you don't want any bad guests. So if a guest has a 1 star review, they'll be banned off of Airbnb if they have repeated offenses. Same thing
Mm.
applies to host. Obviously, if you have repeated offenses because you're not being a good host and like operating it, yeah, you could get in trouble and they could remove your listing off of Airbnb. Now, obviously, because I've been in the game for some time, I obviously know how to get it back up. But obviously, you'd want to avoid that completely because that's why we always say, hey, in the long run, it's important to push 5 star reviews. You guys all have beautiful properties and doing a wonderful job designing them. And for some of you guys, I've even been to your guys' units in person. I think for you, Jazz, and I was actually there in person. So like I know your unit's perfectly fine. So for stuff like that, don't sweat it. Just like take it as feedback. How can we improve this and just keep pushing the 5 stars? And after a while, the little ones won't even mean nothing. For example, I have some 1 stars in my units, and like I have so many reviews that like the 1 stars aren't even noticed. They're like at the bottom of the pile. My rating is still like a 4.8 and above because of that. I have so many more 5 stars. So it works out either way. Great stuff. That's a great question. And then real quick, back to you, Anthony. Yeah, don't sweat it. We'll be all on the same page on our end, and we'll start pushing for speed.
Yeah, sorry, I got a quick call. I had to deal with that. That's what happened.
You're okay.
But I get it. So I'll wait for Noah to confirm. We have that call next week, and I will shoot for 16th of March.
Perfect. Sounds good. We'll keep you posted.
Sure.
All righty. Jake, what do you got?
If my cleaner doesn't have she doesn't have a company or anything, she just works for me. So I'm making an invoice on ChatGPT. Do I just not put a company name?
I would use her personal name, her personal email, her personal phone number,
Okay.
and just get her on the same page. Let her know, hey, Airbnb might email you or might call you. And when Airbnb does email you, because it is a big charge, Airbnb is going to email you, Jake, and be like, hey, is this authentic? Like, what's going on here? And just verify, give them the details. Hey, this is my cleaner. She's a personal cleaner for me only. She does not have a business. She operates independently. But here's, the invoices that she charged me for because she did have to put an ozone generator. If you like, you can call her, email her, and she'll give you the same feedback.
You said put an email too, as well as phone number?
Yeah, put her full name, email, phone number, and just get her on the same page. Let her know, hey, Airbnb might email you or they might call you to ask for these details. And just tell her like, hey, dude, if they pay you out $1,000, like it's pure profit. I wouldn't sweat, giving your cleaner $50 of it, especially if she helped you out.
Absolutely.
So yeah, that's what I do.
Yeah, perfect.
Cool. Great stuff, Jake. Alrighty, guys. Any other questions I can answer for you guys? Everyone's good? Alrighty. Stephanie, I know you had some questions that you wanted to go over EIN wise. So some private stuff. So in that case, I'll dismiss everyone. And if you guys can stick behind, we'll go over some of those personal Social Security EIN questions, and I'll stop the recording, obviously, for that. But other than that, guys, if you guys do have any questions for me, Jake, or sorry, not Jake, Jake, I just had you in the back of mind. If you guys have any questions for me, no, unless you guys want to message Jake, I don't think he'll respond to you guys. But unless you guys have any questions for me, Noah, or Casey, please shoot us a message on Slack. We'll be happy to help you. Obviously, we work through the weekend, so whatever you guys need, please message us. I hope you guys have a great Friday night and a great weekend, and I will see you guys Monday for our group call at 8 p.m. Eastern time.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Good
Of course,
weekend.
guys. Have a good one. Thank you.